Continuing our series of the Rebbe's advice on marriage issues. Before that, just a few words about the Rebbe's advice and the Igris Kodesh of the Rebbe. We don't find any other Rav, Rebbe, Gadol, Tzaddik who wrote so much in a way that addresses people's questions, issues of life. Many rabbis and scholars wrote what we call tshuvas, responsa. Many wrote works of ethics. Many wrote works of Chasidism. Many wrote works on the Parsha, on the weekly Torah portion. But to write letters, to answer people, the Rebbe in his Igris Kodesh, in his letters, answers people's questions and issues about life's issues. Thousands and thousands of letters with such profound practical advice, not mystical. I mean, there are letters where there's mystical advice too, and mystical discussion and Torah discussion, because it's all Torah. The Rebbe was an Isha Torah, was a Torah person, a Torah personality. But what he did, which was so unique, and the first amongst all the rabbis and the scholars and the tzaddikim and the Rebbes and the Gedolim, is that he cared to take the time to write a letter about the individual's issues. There was no issue that was too small for him or too foolish for him. I remember writing up an excerpt of a letter about bedwetting. You find me someone else that writes about bedwetting. Okay? I remember another time someone asked the Rebbe about being a horse trainer. I know who it is. And the Rebbe answered them. So, then there were others who wrote to the Rebbe, questions in halacha, and questions in Jewish law, and questions in Chasidism, in Kabbalah, in Jewish mysticism, in Talmud. He addressed everything. And I literally mean everything. So, whether you're one of the people who looks at the Igris Kodesh as the answer today for the personal issues that we encounter, and you put a letter into Igris Kodesh, or whether you're someone who doesn't do that, regardless, the Igris Kodesh, the Rebbe's letters, have advice for life. Now, understandably, you should discuss it with your spouse, with a Mashpia, with a Rav, with a teacher, because many times it's not clear and we have wishful thinking and we interpret what we want in the letter and we act upon that or we don't act upon that. That's a whole different equation, and that's not this series. I'm not here in this series to tell you that you must write to the Igris Kodesh if you don't know whether your son should go to college or not, or whether you don't know if you should go to college or not, or whether you should buy a new car or an old car. I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you the Rebbe's words and just adding some explanation, but the Rebbe's words themselves, as translated in English, speak for themselves. So I just wanted to share that as an introduction. Let's get now to this piece of advice. I call this, the caption I gave to this is a wife encouraging husband to grow a beard. Although, the Rebbe writes, although I do not personally know you, however, your dear husband told me about your good work. Your husband, while staying in our community in the face of ridicule from his friends and associates, decided to let his beard grow. I write to you to support him in his endeavor. Although there are different opinions in the Code of Jewish Law as to the Torah legality of shaving, yet in his and in your case, it is not a matter of whether halacha, Jewish law, says it is permissible. Your situation warrants this extra special sensitivity to go beyond Jewish law. This is from page 99 and 100 in my book, The Rebbe's Advice. Additionally, as the third Rebbe of Lubavitch writes, growing a beard draws God's blessing in quality and quantity. This includes all those that need God's blessings in health and parnasa matters, livelihood matters, and spiritual issues. Anyone who fits this category most definitely should cleave to rituals and practices of Torah that cause the blessings to come. This is from the Rebbe's Igros Kodesh, volume 25, pages 299 to 301. I took out the excerpt from those pages. And just to add my own words to clarify and how it's relevant today, this is the importance of growing a beard. And a woman, a wife, should encourage her husband to grow a beard, not a trim beard, a full beard. Now, naturally, sometimes you begin with a trim beard, and then you go to a full beard, but grow a beard. And the Rebbe is talking to the wife. So when it comes to marriage, let's say the husband's not making a lot of parnasa, he's struggling financially to bring home a livelihood for the family. The Rebbe is telling her, here you have a way to draw down God's blessing for parnasa, which is encourage your husband to grow his beard. And this is also a response to those that had a beard, or parents have beards and grandparents have beards, and they shave their beards or they trim their beards. This is the Lubavitcher Rebbe talking to everyone, especially to a Lubavitcher, to a Chabadnik. More need not be said. Everyone understands the importance of this. Another excerpt from the letter. 15-year age difference between the two. The Rebbe says, a woman asked the Rebbe, a woman asked the Rebbe if she should meet a man who was older than her by 15 years. The Rebbe said that since there is a great age difference, she should make great effort to find someone who is closer to her in age. This is from a sefer called Dvar Melech, page 65. Now I want to say, such an answer you must discuss with your rabbi, your Mashpia, etc. If someone is not married and they're already much older, and there's someone that's special and he or she likes the person who's 15 years older, in that situation, it might be okay. Okay? The Rebbe is giving here general advice in a normal situation. There's always the exception to the rule. So this is an example where to say, I'm going to stay single because the Rebbe says you shouldn't marry someone who's 15 years older. In my humble opinion, that's not smart. You need to know the situation. And that's what it says here. So generally, yes, someone who's that much older should not be the intended target of marriage. Finally, a third excerpt. Honeymoon. Oh, we run on honeymoons. We need to go on honeymoons. The Rebbe writes, I have never heard of beginning a marriage which is supposed to be a binyan adiyat, an everlasting edifice in a holy Torah way, those are my words, with going on trips. Seemingly, what is more appropriate is to establish your home by making its foundations Torah, mitzvahs, and prayer and tefillah. That's from the same Sefer Dvar Melech, page 63. I'm sorry, page 65 as well. So, listen. This is the Rebbe's general counsel. Don't start your marriage with going on a honeymoon. The Rebbe wrote it to someone. We don't know who he wrote it to. But he's giving a general piece of information, an important one. Again here, are there exceptions? Yes, there are exceptions. That you need to talk to your local rabbi and your local Mashpia. Imagine you don't want to go on a honeymoon and your new wife wants to, and knowing that she wants to, and you know that's going to cause a big fight, I think that there's room to go on a honeymoon and make it a special spiritual Torah honeymoon. So everything needs to be taken into perspective, but this attitude like, we're just newly married, we're already going to rush around the world, give it some time. You can do your honeymoon in a year from now, in a half a year, in 2 years. You can make it up. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to meeting and talking again about more of the Rebbe's advice.